one there. San Marino and Central Catholic, this is where I'll go start moving towards the north and lean on that side. Central Catholic and Modesto's won 3 straight state championships in their division. San Marino has an incredible passing game. Quarterbacks thrown for over 4,000 yards. But I'll take Central Catholic to 4-peat there. And De La Salle and Centennial. Centennial just can't slow down that rushing attack for De La Salle. If Centennial can force turnover here and there, that's going to bode well for them, and that's really what decided the game last year. De La Salle forced 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter and scored each time. Only 1 possession last year in the state championship. De La Salle tried a fake field goal and couldn't convert. Other than that, De La Salle marched in every time they had the ball with little adversity. Centennial's better this year than they were last year, I would say. So maybe a little bit closer of a game, but I'll take De La Salle to win this one and just run the ball down the throat of Centennial.
Oh, man. I mean, we agreed on everything except I think Centennial's going to win.
You think
it can go either way. I do. I think it's going to be high scoring. They both run the ball really well. I personally think Centennial, the guys on the outside will step up. The skill position guys, whether it's Kinley or whoever, I think their DBs are going to be really good. When De La Salle does pass, try to make the big play, they're going to do a really good job. I think they'll pull this off. It's a road game for sure, going to Northern California now. But I think they'll pull it off. Here's De La Salle. It's hard to play against De La Salle.
Yeah. This I saw somewhere on the Twitter world that De La Salle's first-string defense hasn't given up a touchdown since week 2. So their defense is playing at a really high level, kind of sneaking under the radar how dominant De La Salle's been since week 3 and beyond. But another factor, this doesn't have any influence on any of my predictions, but the forecast is supposed to be raining Friday night and Saturday. So if it's raining Saturday night for that De La Salle Centennial game, that's going to be a monster advantage for De La Salle because they just like to put the ball on the ground and run, where Centennial wants to pass and run more of a balanced attack. But really, all the teams from the South like to throw a lot. It would also affect Mission Viejo because Bellarmine's going to run a triple option, where Mission Viejo, they like to run, but they'll definitely pass a lot more. So if it's raining, it could affect those pass-heavy teams, Camarillo as well, and San Marino in the open small school division. So Clayton Valley Charter, they're also another wing T type offense, so they're not going to attempt many passes where Narbonne will. So if it's raining up there, that'll be more than home field advantage for the North teams in Sacramento. It'll be a bad matchup for those passing teams down south.
It will. I didn't know that. That's why we bring you on for the inside information. Because
well, I'm hoping it's wrong. I don't want to watch these games in the rain, but I'll be prepared with a poncho or something.
Yeah, you'll have to break out the poncho, man. I did that at an SC game a few years ago, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna definitely help out there. So it's gonna be a huge event. It rains for them, and yeah, they're up there in the north too. So that's gonna be a big event. So like you said, a lot of throwing teams, a lot of passing teams down the south. It can go either way. De La Salle, it's hard to pick against them. You don't really ever want to. I picked against them a couple of years in the state championship, and they won each time. So I think last year was one of those years. I mean, it's a good football team on Crow's side. But, I mean, they've really got to step their game up because I think De La Salle is a little bit better than them. So I just think Crow Centennial is better where they need to be as far as, like, skill positions, and, experience, and they're really just being hungry, wanting to win that state title. I know Cameron Hunt will be at the game. Cameron's great. He's at Oregon, left guard, right guard sometimes. He'll be leading them out. From what I hear, I don't know if that's true. But, so that'll be cool for Centennial, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We'll catch up with you. Tell the people they can find to follow your work, though.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at my last name, Swartz, SWARTZ 27, covering the West region for nationalhighschoolfootball.com. I'll be at all the state championship games next week, a couple games Friday and 3 games on Saturday. hopefully sending pictures and updates and stuff if it's not pouring down rain and my phone's not in jeopardy of getting ruined.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Definitely follow me on Twitter. Next week's show, I don't know exactly what I'm getting myself into because we live in the world of sports. Random things happen, but it's going to be the final of our high school football rankings. So, we're going to have a little fun with it. I won't give away too much to the people. But, obviously it's going to be the final rankings. Going to go to the top 25 and I guess others received and just kind of have our last Final Four and who we think is the state champion. And I'm going to have, hopefully some other experts from around the country come on, maybe Texas, maybe in Ohio. I know you're on the West Coast and I'm between the West Coast and the South too. Maybe have Ryan come back on to tell have a case for Colquitt to win. But we're gonna have a little fun with it. We'll see. You'll be at the game, so hopefully they're fun games. Hopefully it doesn't rain, man. I hope you have a great time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a great slate of games. I think the CIF really got it right this year, and all these games are really balanced. So I look forward to it.
You're right. CIF did get it right this year, and Texas State playoffs worked out great. I know Allen's not in it. I wanted them to be in it to play Lake Travis, but however, either way, good team.
Yeah.
Or not Lake Travis, Westlake North Shore. But it's going to be fun. I want to see who ends up being the best team in these states because I'm actually going to put out a ranking for the best team in every state for all 50 states. Our website's going to do that, and there's a lot of underrated teams this year, so we'll see what happens. But hey, man, there's a lot of underdogs that can win. The world will be chaotic if there's Sal and North Shore won. I don't know how the rankings will look. So it'll be fun to watch. But have a great night, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
All right. My pleasure, Donovan. Thanks. Have a good one. Jim, take care, man. You guys have a good rest of your show.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Jen Cobern, I'm glad you stuck around. I know it's a little extended high school stuff and college stuff there, but we had two great guests on, always Ryan Swartz from Vice.com, and of course Brian Jordan from Perfect News, or Perfect, the baseball one, Perfect News USA. It's USA Today website, and he's on Macon.com, Macon Telegraph as well. And the Sun News actually down in Savannah. So, I'm glad to have him on the show, talk about Fromm, Jacob Eason, Kirby Smart and that whole coaching staff and what they're planning to do moving forward. And Ryan talking about Tate Martell, Bishop Gorman, and all those teams, and even Texas dabbled a little bit too. It was a mild week, I guess you could say. It was an NFL type week, even though I pretty much missed every game between moving. I'm sad I did, but I caught up with some highlights. And I watched some fantasy football. Me and Jim are in the same league. So, one of the same leagues. I'm sure you have more than one. But fantasy football didn't go so good this week. So, I won't talk about that too much. But, there's a lot going on still. For one, the Heisman Trophy was handed out to Derrick Henry. What do you think about Derrick Henry's season, man? Pretty much went perfect outside of the Ole Miss game, which he played good, but the team lost.
Well, it's tough because I'm still in the McCaffrey camp. Derrick Henry obviously is a very impressive, exciting player to watch. Really probably the largest running back I've seen, to Brandon Jacobs, at least, in terms of a guy that huge that can play. And McCaffrey, McCaffrey was a guy who had an equally huge season, and also in terms of special teams as well, in terms of contributions there. So it was tough for me because and also because I'm kind of a metrics guy, McCaffrey was a little bit better than Derrick Henry, in terms of what he did on paper. But I think both of those guys are deserving players. I think Henry winning it is, it's not the biggest.
No, it's not. Did you happen to see the full ballot by any chance? Jim, you still there? Jim Cobern? still there?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Having weird phone service issues. Yeah, but basically I was just saying that, in terms of Henry and McCaffrey, I mean, both those guys are deserving. Henry, you can make a case for Henry, play. You can make the SEC case that he plays in the SEC is the best division in all college football, type of thing. But I think both, I don't know. I felt like Caffrey should have won it, but, even though Henry won it, I mean, he's pretty deserving as well. They're both exciting players to watch. And that's just my general feelings on it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, did you have a chance to see the full ballot by any chance?
No, I didn't get a chance to see that.
Yeah, okay. I'm always usually who's going to win the Heisman. This year, I felt Derrick Henry was going to win just because he was going to get so many more first place votes, which he did. It was close, but it wasn't really that close. He won by like over 2,000 votes. But I usually I like to see the whole ballot. I like to see who was on the ballot, who was left off, how close were the votes. Derrick Henry was 1, obviously McCaffrey 2, Watson was 3, well deserved. There was a huge gap. Baker Mayfield was 4, Keenan Reynolds was 5, Leonard Fournette was 6, Dalvin Cook was 7, Zeke Elliott was 8, Connor Cook was 9th, tied with Trayvon Boykin, because they were both 8th. It was funny. Trayvon Boykin got a first place vote. I don't know who did that. I mean, not saying he's not good, just saying that I know he missed some games. You could argue, I guess, he was the most valuable, because some people think with Boykin healthy, they would have been in the college football playoff, but they're not. He got injured, so that's a part of the Heisman, getting injured and things. It was interesting to me, Jim, to see. I thought Fournette and Baker Mayfield would have got more votes. A lot of people were kind of disappointed that they didn't get nominated. They got nominated, but they didn't get an invite, or Keenan Reynolds. Out of those 3 guys, I guess, which one do you think deserved to be there the most?
Well, honestly, out of those 3, it'd be Mayfield. I know I sound crazy for saying that because, I'm not the biggest prospect fan of Mayfield, but I think, and Deshaun Watson has been amazing this year. But when I think of the Heisman, and I think of what a lot of the stuff that goes into it, at least, it's moments in games. The Heisman moment, the moment in a game where a player put his team on his back to win a game on national television with all the pressure and all that stuff that goes with it. Henry's had moments like that. McCaffrey's had moments like that. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's done it a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, they kind of coasted through the schedule. Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma, though, they've had some games, man, where it was close, where they had to throw all the stop. I mean, the Tennessee game is one of those games where you watch the first 3 quarters of that game and you think to yourself, there's no way they're going to win this game. And then all of a sudden Baker Mayfield just turns it on in the fourth quarter, almost Tim Tebow-esque in terms of, when Tim Tebow had that Miami game where, they were down by like 2-3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and came back and won it. Just in terms of just doing things like that, Mayfield did things that were improbable, that were just like unexpected. So from that kind of perspective, and don't get me wrong, Dalvin Cook, incredible season. He should have been invited as well. But I think in terms of who had, like, if it was me, I would have had Mayfield there and Watson not there. But I do, and it's not that I think Watson's a bad player. He's definitely deserving to be there. But I just felt like Mayfield had the more crazy moments of heroism, I guess, on the football field is what I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Baker fan. I thought he should have been there because of what the award has been. I mean, he put up great stats, too. I think, honestly, man, if he had had a last weekend instead of having a bye week for his last weekend, I think he would have went to New York. I think, Watson's really hot right now. The only game where I felt like he put the team on the back when I was afraid they might lose, to be honest, was early on in the season in Notre Dame. wasn't the game, but he did drive him downfield for a touchdown. The Florida State game was pretty big too.